Hello, this is Aaron Maxfield, and this is FHS 1230 and families, schools, school districts, and communities taken to combat bullyism, gangs, and promote self-esteem. Highlight at least one program addressing bullyism in our nation's schools. So I'm just going to give, basically I'm going to give a quick overview of what my paper talks about. So before going on, I first want to get a good foundation of what some of these terms are. So first of all, we need to know what self-esteem and self-efficacy are. So we're going to go ahead and go to my board here where I've already written the definitions. So the first thing is self-esteem, right here. And self-esteem is the degree to which individuals feel positively or negatively about themselves. Self-esteem is very important throughout life. If you don't have good self-esteem or feel good about yourself, life simply isn't happy. The next thing is self-efficacy right here. And this is the sense that an individual has some control over his or her life. So that's your ability to feel like you're in the driver's seat. So now that we know what these things are, we can go on to my paper and my research project. So just to give you a quick example, throughout my research paper I used 3 specific examples of people in my life that I've come in contact with that have had issues with these things. And the first thing I point out is my aunt Lorraine. So just to give you, just to tell you her story a little bit, my Aunt Lorraine, she grew up in a family of 7 kids. Her older brothers were pretty popular in school. Her older sisters were all pretty confident in their subjects, dancing, singing. One of her sisters played college basketball. Another sister went on to become a doctor. Now Lorraine, she was the youngest, and my grandma, due to her being quite old, she had some problems with the pregnancy, and Lorraine developed some thyroid problems. And these thyroid problems, they resulted in Lorraine being overweight. Now throughout Lorraine's development through adolescence, especially early and middle adolescence, she had people bully her and she had people make fun of her. And as a result, this made her self-esteem and her self-efficacy in her life almost non-existent. She developed eating disorders, and those eating disorders was her reply to trying to gain some control of her life. Now she may have felt better with these eating disorders, but in reality what they did was they made her problems even worse. Now Lorraine, due to these issues that she was facing, she developed into an adult that wasn't very confident. And even to this day I would say that she's very quiet, and she has a hard time being in big situations where there's lots of people. But I will say that due to a good support system and a loving family, she was able to take college classes, gain a solid community college associate's degree, and she has a job with UTA as a dispatcher, which she's very good at, and it's something that's behind the scenes and something that she can have some confidence with. Even this last summer she was able to find someone that she loves, and she was able to marry him. And being in her 40s now, I feel like she's come a long way, but I feel like the lack of these things caused by bullying is what stunted her growth. I oftentimes think about what Lorraine would have been like if she didn't have bullying in her life. So I think the key here is to find a support system quickly to help combat the problems that come with bullying. And I think a lot of times these these systems are already in place in our schools. I've been doing a lot of interviewing and a lot of observations at East High School, and it is amazing for me to see all the extracurricular activities that exist at East High. If you like singing, they've got choir. If you like chess, they've got chess clubs. They've got math clubs. They've got business clubs. They've got so many different, sports programs that help support kids. But the problem with these extracurricular activities is getting those kids that are shyer, those kids that have problems with these issues, to come into that. I have just an example from my own life. There's a man that I met just a month or two ago, and we'll call him Jake to protect his identity. But while meeting with Jake, I saw that Jake had no confidence, very quiet, wouldn't even look me in the eye. But while we were talking, I know a little bit about computer games. We started talking about computer games, and Jake became a completely different person. It was almost like there was a transformation that took place. A very low self-esteem all of a sudden became a very confident and outspoken person in a matter of just a minute. In fact, we talked for about an hour, and he wanted to keep talking. And so because I knew Jake liked computer games and he was very good at computers and very confident about computers, we are currently in the process of trying to help him find a job as a computer programmer. Now my reasons for sharing this example is that I believe and I know that there are kids out there that are good at things, but they don't know they're good at things. They need someone to take some interest in their lives and say, Jake, you're good at computer programming. I believe that if we weren't there telling Jake that he was good at these things, he wouldn't be as happy as he is today. Now he still has issues with these problems, and he's 31 years old. But if he had someone in high school or at a younger age tell him that he was good at something and he could build that confidence that he needed, that confidence would flow into other aspects of his life, in his dating and social life, in his any part of his life. And so I think the key is getting these kids to join these support groups, these clubs, and to develop the confidence that they need to become valuable citizens to our society. And so to express this point a little bit more, my mother is a teacher at East High. She is in the choir program. And one of the issues she deals with is getting kids to simply join the choir group. A great example is the minority group of the Polynesians at East High. They love to sing. They love it. But when it comes to actually singing in the choir, my mom has to drag them in. She has to be the one that motivates them to actually try out. And once they get in, they have a blast. Just this past summer, I had the wonderful opportunity to be a chaperone for the band and the choir trip, and I met a young boy named Angel. And Angel was very quiet, very not a lot of confidence, not someone that I would say has these things in his life. But when Angel played his music, he was a completely different person. Now imagine if Angel hadn't have been pushed to be in choir or in band. Imagine if he would have just kind of stayed under the radar. That confidence that developed through music wouldn't be there. Now it is my belief that there are hundreds of people at East and thousands of students across the world that have that same issue. They have these support systems already in place, but they are too afraid or don't have enough confidence to try out or to join the team. And so I think it is our duty as future educators and the teachers right now that exist and educators that are teaching right now, it's their duty to find these strengths that these kids are good at and to encourage them to join these clubs, join these groups. And it is my belief that as they join these groups, as they learn how to play chess and become great chess masters, or join the math club and become great mathematicians, it is my belief that these people will become valuable citizens and more happy and that makes our world a much better place. And I've got a lot more in my paper that discusses and kind of expands on these points, but that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for making this class such a fun class, and I want to thank my sister Ivana for videoing me, and again, that's it. Bye.